Remember, people's approval may help you for a day, but Allah's approval will help you for eternity. People may walk away when you fail, but Allah will never abandon you when you sincerely turn to Him. My brothers and sisters, do you know what one of the greatest mistakes we make in life is? It is the constant desire to please every single person around us. We bend, we break, we compromise our values, and at the end of the day, we are left exhausted and empty. You can never please everyone, no matter how hard you try. And the more you try, the more you lose yourself. Today, I want to remind you of a very important principle. Stop pleasing everyone and focus on pleasing the one who created you. My brothers and sisters, I want you to pause for a moment and reflect on your own life. How many times have you bent over backwards just to make someone else happy? How many times have you said yes when every part of you wanted to say no? How many times have you sacrificed your own peace, your own well-being, simply because you were too afraid that someone might not like you if you stood your ground? Think about it. You may have gone out of your way to help someone. You gave your time, your energy, your wealth, and even your emotions. And yet, after all that, what happened? They still complained. They still found a fault in you. They still said it wasn't enough. Or worse, they left you with no gratitude at all. That, my brothers and sisters, is the reality of life. You cannot please everyone. Human beings are not the same. We all have different expectations, different standards, different desires. What one person sees as kindness, another might see as weakness. What one person considers respect, another might interpret as arrogance. So, if you make it your mission to satisfy every single person in your life, you will spend your entire life running in circles, exhausted, drained, and broken, and still fail in the end. Let me give you an example. Imagine you are standing in a room with 10 people. One person says, "Speak louder, we can't hear you." Another says, no, lower your voice, it's too harsh. A third person says, "Don't speak at all. Just keep silent." Another says, "Tell us everything you know. Why are you holding back?" Now, if you listen to one, you will upset the other. If you listen to the other, you will upset the first. And if you try to balance all of them at once, you will drive yourself mad. This is what life becomes when you try to please everyone. There is a saying, if you try to please all, you please none. And it's true, because the people you are trying to please are not united in their expectations. They each want something different from you. And if you make them your priority, you will always feel like you are failing someone. My brothers and sisters, even the greatest of people, those far better than you and I, were criticized. Look at the prophets. They came with truth, honesty, and the best of character. Yet, people mocked them, rejected them, and turned away from them. If the most noble human beings could not please everyone, what makes you think you can? If the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, who was the most gentle, the most kind, the most loving, faced criticism from his own people, do you think you will be spared? If he could not satisfy every heart, how will you? So stop chasing the impossible. Stop running after approval that will never come. Because even when you succeed in pleasing someone today, tomorrow they may change. Their expectations may shift. Their hearts may turn. And suddenly, what once made them happy now becomes a source of complaint. This is the unstable reality of human approval. And here is the greatest danger. The more you try to please people, the further you drift from pleasing Allah. Why? Because in order to meet their demands, you may have to compromise your values, your principles, your faith. You may find yourself laughing at a joke that is offensive just to fit in. You may stay silent when injustice happens just so you are not the odd one out. You may even indulge in something haram because you are too scared to be left out of the group. In that moment, you have traded the pleasure of Allah for the pleasure of people who will never be satisfied with you anyway. And do you know the irony? Even when you displease Allah to please people, they still won't be truly happy with you. People are fickle. Today they praise you, tomorrow they criticize you. Today they call you a friend, tomorrow they They walk away, their hearts are in constant motion, and you can never anchor yourself to something that unstable. My brothers and sisters, this is why you must free yourself from this prison. You must remind yourself, I am not here to please people, I am here to please Allah. When that becomes your mindset, something amazing happens. You begin to feel peace. Because now your standard is clear, your goal is steady, and your heart no longer bends with every opinion around you. When you focus on pleasing Allah, you realize that not everyone's approval matters. You don't need the whole world to clap for you. You don't need every single person to agree with you. What you need is to live with integrity, to hold on to your principles, and to know that even if the entire world rejects you, but Allah accepts you, you are successful. Let me remind you, the same people who demand your time, your energy, and your effort today, where will they be tomorrow? Where will they be when you are in your grave, when you are standing before Allah? They will not stand beside you. They will not defend you. They will not carry your burden. Each soul will stand for itself. So why exhaust yourself for their approval when their approval will not save you? Remember this truth. People's hearts are not in your control, but Allah's mercy is. People's opinions change, but Allah's reward is eternal. People will forget your kindness, but Allah never forgets even the smallest deed done sincerely. So, my brothers and sisters, stop trying to please everyone. Be kind, be just, be respectful, but don't live as a slave to people's opinions. Free yourself and make Allah your focus. Because when Allah is pleased with you, He will put love for you in the hearts of the right people. And that is far more valuable than the empty approval of the world. Let me ask you a simple question. Whose approval are you really living for? Think about it carefully. Every morning when you wake up, every evening before you sleep, whose opinion weighs on your mind? Is it your family, your friends, your colleagues, the people on social media who may never even meet you? Or is it Allah, the one who gave you life, the one who provides for you, the one before whom you will stand when your journey on this earth is over? We live in a world where people's approval feels like currency. We measure our worth by likes, by comments, by compliments, by applause. If people praise us, we feel valuable. If they criticize us, we feel worthless. But let me remind you of a painful truth. The approval of people is temporary, inconsistent, and often meaningless. The only approval that truly matters is the approval of Allah. The problem with relying on people's approval is that it never lasts. Today they cheer you, tomorrow they may mock you. Today they support you, tomorrow they may abandon you. People's hearts change, their moods shift, their loyalties fade. How many times have you seen someone celebrated one day and humiliated the next? How many times have you experienced it yourself? You were praised for your efforts, but the moment you slipped, they turned against you. When you make people your standard, you live in constant fear. Fear of losing their love, fear of losing their attention, fear of disappointing them. And that fear eats away at your peace. But when you make Allah your standard, you live in hope. Hope of His mercy, hope of His forgiveness, hope of His eternal reward. Now compare that with Allah's approval. When Allah loves you, it is not temporary. When Allah accepts you, it is not shallow. His approval is eternal and it carries weight in this world and in the hereafter. Do you know what happens when Allah is pleased with you? Even if the entire world turns against you, your heart will still be at peace. Even if people criticize you unjustly, you will still feel dignity. Because you know that the one who truly matters has accepted you. And His acceptance is all that counts. And here is something beautiful. When Allah is pleased with you, He places love for you in the hearts of the right people. Not everyone, but the right ones. Those who matter. Those who will support you sincerely, not for what you give them, but because of the light of faith Allah has placed in your heart. My brothers and sisters, when you constantly chase people's approval, you may end up sacrificing your values. You may find yourself doing things that you know are wrong just because you are too scared to lose someone's respect. You may remain silent when you should speak out because you are too worried about how others will judge you. You may even compromise your faith, missing prayers, indulging in gossip, following trends just so you can fit in. But let me tell you, if you compromise your faith to gain people's acceptance, you will lose both. People will still find faults in you, and you will have displeased Allah in the process. It's like chasing a mirage in the desert. You run and run, but at the end you find nothing. Remember this. If Allah is pleased with you, but the whole world is displeased, you have succeeded. But if the whole world is pleased with you and Allah is displeased, you have failed. Look at the life of the prophets. They did not seek people's approval. They sought the approval of Allah. And because of that, they were often rejected, mocked, and even harmed. Did that make them change their message? No. They stayed firm because they knew the truth. The only approval that matters is the Creator's. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, faced rejection from his own people. They called him a liar, a madman, a magician. Yet he continued his mission because he was not living for their acceptance. He was living for Allah's acceptance. And today the same people who mocked him are gone, forgotten, while his name is remembered and honored across the globe. My brothers and sisters, when Allah approves of you, He opens doors you never imagined. He grants you peace in your heart, blessings in your life, and light in your path. Even when you face hardship, His approval becomes your shield. You may lose people, you may lose opportunities, you may lose wealth, but if Allah is with you, you have lost nothing. On the other hand, if you win the world but lose Allah's approval, what have you gained? You may be loved by millions, but if Allah turns away from you, your success is hollow. Your fame, your wealth, your reputation, all of it will crumble when you stand before Him on the day of judgment. So how do we shift our focus? By constantly reminding ourselves, I am here to please Allah, not people. Before you speak, before you act, before you make a choice, ask yourself, will this bring me closer to Allah? Or will it take me further away? If it pleases Allah, do it. Even if people dislike it. If it displeases Allah, avoid it. Even if people pressure you. This doesn't mean you become harsh or careless towards people. Islam teaches us to be kind, respectful, and considerate. But there is a difference between kindness and people pleasing. Kindness comes from sincerity. People pleasing comes from fear. Kindness is for the sake of Allah. People pleasing is for the sake of reputation. My brothers and sisters, let me end with this. The most liberating moment in your life is when you stop caring about the opinions of people and start caring about the opinion of Allah. That is when you taste true freedom. That is when you find true peace. That is when you realize that your worth does not lie in the applause of people, but in the mercy of Allah. Remember, people's approval may help you for a day, but Allah's approval will help you for eternity. People may walk away when you fail, but Allah will never abandon you when you sincerely turn to Him. People's love comes and goes, but Allah's love is everlasting. So, my brothers and sisters, live your life for Him. Please Him, and you will find that the right people will respect you, the wrong people will leave you, and your heart will be content. Because at the end of the day, the only approval that truly matters is the approval of Allah. My beloved brothers and sisters, I want you to reflect on something very important. One of the greatest dangers of constantly trying to please people is that it can slowly, quietly, and dangerously lead you into disobedience to Allah. When you make people your priority, when you put their approval above the approval of Allah, you will eventually find yourself compromising your faith. And sometimes you won't even realize it until it's too late. Let's talk about how this happens. At first, it begins innocently. You want people to like you, to accept you, to respect you. And so, when you are with them, you may overlook small things. You laugh at a joke that mocks something sacred. You stay silent when someone backbites. You nod in agreement when a haram opinion is being promoted. And in your heart, you tell yourself, it's just this one time. I don't want to make things awkward. I don't want them to dislike me. But one time becomes two, two becomes five. Slowly, you get comfortable with disobedience, not because you love sin, but because you love people's approval. And that, my brothers and sisters, is a very dangerous path. Think of it this way. When you constantly chase people's approval, you start to adjust your principles to match what they want. Instead of asking, is this pleasing to Allah? Your mind begins to ask, will they be okay with this? Some people compromise their modesty because they don't want to be judged as old-fashioned. Some compromise their honesty because they don't want to be labeled as too rigid. Some compromise their salah because they don't want to be seen as too religious. And the irony is this: in trying to fit in, you lose yourself. You trade your eternal salvation for temporary popularity. And even then, people's love is never guaranteed. Let me give you a scenario many of us face. You're at work or at school, and people around you are making fun of Islam, or mocking modesty, or laughing at prayer. Deep inside, you know it's wrong. But you're afraid. You think, if I speak up, they'll think I'm extreme. If I defend my faith, I'll be isolated. So you smile nervously. You say nothing. You go along with the crowd. In that moment, you've chosen people's acceptance over Allah's. And while silence may seem like the easy choice, it eats away at your heart, because deep down you know you've betrayed your values. Another trap is the obsession with trends. Today, people will pressure you to join what is fashionable, popular, or viral, even if it contradicts your faith. They'll say, it's just harmless fun, don't be so uptight. But my brothers and sisters, not everything that is popular is pleasing to Allah. Sometimes the entire crowd is running toward destruction and you are the only one standing still. Don't let the noise of the majority make you abandon the truth. Remember, every trend dies, every fashion fades, every viral moment passes, but the consequences of your choices remain with you when you meet Allah. The root of this problem is fear. Fear of rejection, fear of being alone, fear of being mocked. But let me tell you something, fear of people will paralyze you, while fear of Allah will liberate you. When you fear Allah, you are strong enough to say no when everyone else is saying yes. You are brave enough to walk away when everyone else is joining in. You are firm enough to hold your values even when the world laughs at you. But when you fear people more than Allah, you become weak. You become a slave to their opinions. You say what they want to hear, you do what they want to see, and in the process you lose your dignity and your faith. Look at the prophets. They were surrounded by people who mocked them, opposed them, and even plotted against them. Yet they never compromised the truth. When Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, stood against his entire community, he was alone, but he knew he was not truly alone because Allah was with him. When Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, faced Pharaoh, the most powerful ruler of his time, he did not soften his message to please him. He spoke the truth with courage. And our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was offered wealth, power and status by the Quraysh. If only he would stop preaching the oneness of Allah. Did he compromise? No. He said, even if you place the sun in my right hand and the moon in my left, I will never abandon this mission. That is the strength of living for Allah's approval, not people's. My brothers and sisters, the biggest tragedy of pleasing people at the expense of Allah's commands is that people's approval will not help you when you die. On the day of judgment, those same people you tried so hard to impress will not stand with you. They will not defend you. In fact, some of them may even blame you. You followed us. You copied us. You compromised because of us. What will you say then? How will you explain that you disobeyed the Creator to impress the creation? Remember, Allah is the one who will judge you. His approval is what determines your eternal destiny. People's opinions cannot open the gates of paradise for you, but Allah's mercy can. There is something very powerful here. True freedom comes when you stop fearing people and start fearing Allah, because then you are no longer a slave to trends, to opinions, to expectations. You are free to live with integrity. Yes, some people may dislike you, some may mock you, some may walk away, but those who remain will be the ones who respect you for your principles, who admire you for your strength, who stand by you because you stand by the truth. And even if the world leaves you, Allah will never abandon you. So, how do you protect yourself from falling into disobedience just to please people? Check your intention daily. Ask yourself, am I doing this for Allah or for people? Set boundaries. Be clear on what you will not compromise no matter the pressure. Surround yourself with the right company. If your friends constantly push you towards sin, they are not friends. Real friends remind you of Allah. Learn to say no. Saying no to sin is a form of worship. Every time you resist people's pressure, for the sake of Allah, He raises your rank. My beloved brothers and sisters, do not sacrifice your obedience to Allah just to earn the approval of people who may not even care about you tomorrow. People's love is temporary. Their respect is shallow. Their support is unreliable. But Allah's love is eternal. His reward is everlasting. His approval is the only one that matters. So choose wisely. When faced with the choice between pleasing people or pleasing Allah, always choose Allah. Because if He is pleased with you, He will guide you, protect you, and bless you in this world and in the hereafter. Remember, pleasing people can lead to disobedience, but pleasing Allah will lead to paradise. My beloved brothers and sisters, this is one of the hardest truths to accept in life. Not everyone who smiles at you is your friend, and not everyone who stands with you truly wishes you well. We live in a world where people wear masks. Some masks are friendly, some are charming, some are kind, but behind those masks, not every heart is sincere. One of the greatest mistakes we make is assuming that everyone we know, everyone who compliments us, everyone who spends time with us is a real friend. And then, when they betray us, when they abandon us, when they reveal their true colors, we are left broken. Today, I want to remind you of something very important. Real friends are rare, and not everyone deserves your trust, your loyalty, or your heart. Many times, people are only around you for what they can take from you, your time, your money, your influence, your energy. They may enjoy your company, but not because they truly care about you. Rather, it's because you benefit them in some way. But the moment you stop giving, the moment you say no, the moment you no longer serve their interests, they vanish. They stop calling, they stop visiting, they stop caring. Why? Because their friendship was never about you. It was about what they could get from you. That is not friendship. That is transaction. A true friend is the one who loves you for the sake of Allah. They want good for you even when it doesn't benefit them. They remind you of your prayers. They lift you when you fall. They correct you when you are wrong. A false friend is the one who loves you for the sake of themselves. They only support you when you give them what they want. They praise you when you agree with them, but the moment you disagree, they turn on you. They encourage you when you sin, but stay silent when you do good. My brothers and sisters, can you see the difference? One friend pushes you toward Jannah, the other drags you toward Jahannam. One stands by you in hardship, the other abandons you when things get tough. One values your soul, the other values your usefulness. Do you want to know who your real friends are? Wait until you are tested. When you lose wealth, When you lose health, when you lose status, watch who remains. Anyone can sit with you at a table full of food. Anyone can laugh with you in times of ease, but not everyone can stand with you in times of trial. When hardship strikes, false friends disappear like shadows in the night, but true friends remain even if they cannot solve your problem. They sit with you, they comfort you, they make dua for you. That is how you know the difference. My brothers and sisters, one of the greatest dangers is giving everyone the same level of trust. Not everyone should have access to your secrets, your plans, your weaknesses, because not everyone will protect them. Some will use your secrets against you. Some will take your trust and betray it. Even the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, warned us to be wise in choosing companions. He said that a person is upon the religion of their close friend. So we must be careful who we allow close to our hearts. This doesn't mean you should be paranoid or hateful. It simply means you should be wise. Not every colleague, not every classmate, not every neighbor, not every smiling face is a true friend. Perhaps you've experienced it yourself. You trusted someone deeply. You shared your heart, your struggles, your dreams. You were there for them when they needed you. But when your turn came, they turned away. Worse, maybe they even used your kindness against you. That pain is real. It cuts deep. But remember, this is part of life. Even the greatest of people were betrayed. Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, was betrayed by his own brothers. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was betrayed by people from his own tribe. If betrayal touched them, do not be shocked when it touches you. The lesson, my brothers and sisters, is not to shut your heart entirely. The lesson is to set boundaries. Be kind to everyone, but trust only a few. Be respectful to everyone, but open your heart selectively. Be good to people, but don't make everyone your confidant. Protect your heart, because once it is broken, it takes a long time to heal. And don't give people weapons they can use against you tomorrow. How do you know if someone is a true friend? Look for these signs. They remind you of Allah. A real friend wants you to succeed not only in this world, but in the hereafter. They are honest with you. Even if the truth hurts, they care enough to correct you. They support you in hardship. When others abandon you, they remain by your side. They don't compete with you. Instead of being jealous of your success, they are happy for you. They forgive your mistakes. They don't use your flaws to humiliate you. If you find someone like this, value them, thank Allah for them, and never take them for granted. My brothers and sisters, you are influenced by the company you keep. If you surround yourself with people who gossip, who lie, who disobey Allah, eventually you will fall into the same. But if you surround yourself with people who pray, who speak truth, who strive for goodness, you will rise with them. This is why the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, compared good companions to sellers of perfume. Even if you don't buy anything, their fragrance will touch you. And bad companions are like blacksmiths. Even if you don't touch the fire, their smoke will stain you. So ask yourself, who are your closest companions? Do they make you better or do they make you worse? Sometimes when you distance yourself from false friends, you may feel lonely. But let me assure you, it is better to be alone with dignity than surrounded by people who don't truly care for you. Loneliness with Allah is not loneliness. It is strength. Because He will guide you to the right people in the right time. My beloved brothers and sisters, not everyone is your friend. Be kind to all, but trust only the sincere. Don't let the sweetness of words deceive you. Look for sincerity in actions. Don't chase after crowds who will disappear tomorrow. Value the rare gems who remind you of Allah and stand with you in hardship. And above all, remember, even if every friend leaves you, Allah will never abandon you. He is the best of protectors, the best of helpers, and the best of companions. If Allah grants you even one true friend in this world, thank Him, for it is a gift greater than wealth. But if the world turns against you and you are left with none but Allah, then you already have more than enough. Because not everyone is your friend, but Allah is always by your side. My beloved brothers and sisters, let us reflect on something very important in our lives. We are often told to be kind, to be warm, to be welcoming, and indeed, Islam teaches us mercy, generosity, and compassion. But at the same time, we must also understand that there is a limit to friendliness. There is a boundary we must not cross. Because when you are excessively friendly with everyone, when you open your heart to anyone and everyone without thought or caution, you invite harm into your life. Not everyone deserves that level of access to you. Not everyone should be allowed into the deepest parts of your soul. Think for a moment. How many times have you been too available for people? You answer every call, you give time to everyone who asks, you share your personal life with anyone who seems interested. At first you think you are being good, you think you are doing the right thing. But what happens? Some people start to take advantage of you. They call only when they need something. They remember you only when they are in trouble. They lean on you heavily. But when your time of need comes, they are nowhere to be found. The more you give, the more they expect. And soon, your kindness is not appreciated, it is exploited. When you are too friendly, you make yourself vulnerable to betrayal. You speak too freely, you reveal too much, you trust too quickly. And then one day, the same information you shared in confidence is used against you. The same person you thought was loyal spreads your secrets. The same one you considered a friend turns your words into weapons. Why? Because you did not guard your heart. You gave everyone access and not everyone deserved it. This does not mean we should be harsh or unkind. No. A believer is supposed to be approachable, gentle, and respectful. But being approachable does not mean being naive. Being kind does not mean being careless. There is wisdom in setting boundaries. There is wisdom in keeping parts of your life private. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was the most compassionate, yet he was also wise and careful with whom he trusted and what he revealed. Sometimes we confuse friendliness with righteousness. We think that the friendlier we are, the more pious we must be. But in reality, excessive friendliness can lead you into situations that compromise your dignity. For example, you may laugh and joke with everyone without limits. People begin to see you as someone who can be crossed easily, someone who will always say yes, someone who will never draw the line. And soon they lose respect for you. They stop valuing your time, your presence, your effort. Why? Because you never taught them to. There is a difference between being kind and being too available. Real kindness has wisdom. It knows when to say yes and when to say no. Excessive friendliness has no boundaries. It says yes, even when the heart is crying no. And when you constantly say yes to others, you end up saying no to yourself, no to your health, no to your family, no to your faith. Slowly, you burn out. You give and give until there is nothing left of you. And when you collapse, the very people you exhausted yourself for will not carry you. They will simply move on to the next person who can benefit them. Being too friendly also attracts people who do not have good intentions. There are those who see your softness and mistake it for weakness. They manipulate you, they deceive you, they exploit your goodness for their own gain. They flatter you with sweet words, not because they love you, but because they know your heart is easy to win. And before you know it, you are trapped in toxic relationships, drained of your peace, burdened with unnecessary stress. My brothers and sisters, remember this. Not everyone who comes with a smile is sincere. Not everyone who greets you warmly is a friend. Not everyone who praises you wants good for you. Some are drawn to your light because they want to dim it. Some come close to you only to study your weaknesses. Some pretend to support you while deep down they hope for your downfall. If you are too friendly, too trusting, you will not see these dangers until it is too late. There is a saying, guard your heart, because not everyone who shakes your hand deserves to hold your trust. This is wisdom. This is balance. Islam teaches us to love for our brother what we love for ourselves, but it also teaches us to be cautious, to be wise, to avoid putting ourselves in harm's way. Being too friendly blurs this balance. You give pieces of yourself to people who have not earned them, and then you wonder why you are left broken. True strength lies in balance. You can be polite without being overly familiar. You can be generous without being reckless. You can be caring without being gullible. A believer is neither cold nor naive. He is warm but wise, kind but cautious, approachable but respectable. He does not lock his heart completely, but neither does he hand it to every passerby. Think of it like your home. You may welcome guests, you may host them with food and kindness, but do you give every visitor the keys to your house? Do you allow anyone who knocks to enter your private rooms? Of course not. You guard your home, you protect your family, you set boundaries. In the same way, your heart and your life deserve protection. Do not give everyone the keys. And let me remind you, being too friendly does not just harm you, it can also harm your deen. You may find yourself dragged into gatherings where Allah is disobeyed, but you stay because you don't want to upset people. You may laugh along with conversations that cross the limits, but you don't stop them because you don't want to seem boring. You may agree to things that go against your values because you cannot bear the thought of disappointing someone. In the process, your faith weakens. Not because you wanted to disobey Allah, but because you could not draw the line with people. This is the hidden danger of being too friendly. Do not misunderstand me. Islam is not calling you to be harsh or cold. It is calling you to be balanced. Be someone who spreads salam, who greets others with warmth, who shows mercy to creation. But also be someone who knows the limits, who protects their dignity, who values their time, who does not compromise their principles for acceptance. At the end of the day, the people who truly value you will respect your boundaries. They will not expect you to say yes every time. They will not abandon you when you say no. They will not punish you for protecting your heart. In fact, they will admire you for it. But those who walk away simply because you stopped being overly friendly were never your true friends in the first place. My beloved brothers and sisters, stop exhausting yourself trying to be everything for everyone. Stop opening your life to people who have not earned your trust. Stop thinking that being excessively friendly will win you love. Real respect, real friendship comes from sincerity, not from overexposure. Learn to say no with dignity. Learn to keep parts of your life private. Learn to value your peace over their approval. Because at the end of the day, being too friendly will not protect you. It will harm you. It will drain you. It will expose you. It will break you. But being balanced, being wise, being friendly within limits will protect your dignity, your peace, and most importantly, your faith. So be kind, but do not be naive. Be generous, but do not be reckless. Be friendly, but do not be too friendly. Protect your heart, for it is the most precious gift Allah has entrusted you with. And remember, if you seek the pleasure of Allah above all else, He will surround you with the right people, people who value you, respect you, and remind you of Him. Those are the only friends worth keeping close. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the greatest burdens a human being can carry is the burden of pretending to be someone they are not. It is a heavy mask that suffocates the heart, drains the soul, and destroys inner peace. And sadly, this is what happens when you live your life trying to please everyone. You put on mask after mask, smile after smile, persona after persona, until eventually you forget who you truly are. Think about it. Have you ever been in a situation where You felt you had to act differently just to be accepted. Maybe at work, you pretended to enjoy conversations that went against your values. With one group of friends, you acted religious so they would respect you. With another group, you downplayed your faith so they would not judge you. With family, you were one person. With strangers, you were another. At first, you tell yourself it's harmless. You convince yourself you are just adapting, just fitting in. But with time, you realize that you are living behind a mask and the real you is buried underneath. The tragedy of wearing fake masks is that it never ends. Once you start, you feel the need to keep adjusting. In one circle, you have to speak a certain way. In another, you must dress a certain way. In yet another, you must hide parts of yourself to avoid disapproval. And while people may smile at you, while they may clap for you, while they may say, we like you, deep inside you know that what they like is not the real you. They are only applauding the mask. And that realization is painful because you are starving for genuine acceptance, but you are feeding people a false image. My brothers and sisters, understand this. Masks are exhausting. Pretending is exhausting. You can fake a smile for a few hours, but can you fake an entire life? You can hide your true self for a moment, but can you bury your soul forever? No. Sooner or later, the weight of all those masks will crush you. You will look in the mirror and not recognize the person staring back. You will feel lost, confused, and empty. Why? Because you gave up authenticity for approval. And what makes this even worse is that when you wear masks, you end up living for people instead of for Allah. You make people's opinions your compass instead of Allah's guidance. If they laugh, you laugh, even when it's wrong. If they sin, you join them, even when it's against your faith. If they mock you, you change yourself, even when it means disobeying your Creator. In doing so, you trade sincerity for hypocrisy, truth for lies, faith for fear. But let me tell you something very important. Masks may fool people, but they do not fool Allah. He knows your heart, He knows your intentions, He knows the real you that hides behind the mask. And on the day of judgment, it will not be your mask that stands before Him, it will be your true self. The masks will be stripped away, the pretenses will vanish, the facades will crumble, and only the reality of your soul will remain. So why waste your life building masks that will be torn away in an instant? The burden of masks is not only spiritual, it is emotional. When you live for people's approval, you live in constant fear, fear of being exposed, fear of being rejected if the mask slips, fear of not meeting their expectations. You are never at peace because you are always performing and the performance never ends. Even in your quiet moments, you rehearse what to say, how to act, how to appear. You become an actor in a play that no one is really watching because the people whose approval you seek are too busy chasing their own approval elsewhere. And do you know the worst part? When people discover that the image you presented was not real, they feel betrayed. The very approval you sacrificed yourself for is destroyed. They say you're fake. They accuse you of dishonesty. They turn away from you. And suddenly, after all that effort, after all that exhaustion, you are left with nothing. No real friends, no real peace, and no real self. Just the fragments of masks that never truly belong to you. My brothers and sisters, this is why authenticity is priceless. Being yourself, being genuine, being true to your values, it may not win you the approval of everyone, but it will win you the approval of the right people. And more importantly, it will keep you sincere with Allah. When you are authentic, your heart is lighter. You no longer live in fear. You no longer feel the crushing burden of masks. You say what you mean. You do what is right. You live with integrity. And even if people dislike you, you know you are standing in truth. That peace is worth more than all the fake approval in the world. Remember, my beloved brothers and sisters, Masks are often worn out of fear. Fear of rejection, fear of loneliness, fear of judgment. But let me remind you, rejection from people does not harm you if Allah accepts you. Loneliness with Allah is not loneliness, it is strength. Judgment from people does not break you if your faith is intact. So stop fearing creation more than the Creator. If you remove the masks and live sincerely for Allah, He will place respect for you in the hearts of the right people. There is another burden that comes with masks. They confuse your relationships. When you present a false image, people are attracted to the mask, not the real you. And when they love the mask, you never feel truly loved. You wonder, would they still care if they knew the real me? Would they still support me if they saw my flaws? Would they still stay if I stopped pretending? That constant doubt destroys intimacy, destroys trust, and destroys your ability to feel secure. Because deep down, you know they are not connected to you, they are connected to the mask. And that is one of the loneliest feelings in the world. True relationships, true friendships, true love can only be built on authenticity. When you are genuine, people know exactly who you are. They may not all like you, but those who do like you will like the real you. They will stay not because of what you pretend to be, but because of what you truly are. And that is liberating. You no longer have to perform. You no longer have to hide. You no longer have to carry the heavy burden of masks. You are free. My beloved brothers and sisters, do not misunderstand. This does not mean you should expose every flaw, share every weakness, or broadcast every struggle. No. Islam teaches modesty, humility, and wisdom. But there is a difference between hiding your sins for the sake of Allah and pretending to be something you are not for the sake of people. One is dignity, the other is deception. One protects your soul, the other burdens it. So, let go of the masks. Be yourself. Be authentic. If you are struggling, admit it to Allah and seek help. If you are growing, celebrate progress without pretending perfection. If you make mistakes, repent sincerely without covering them up with hypocrisy. Because Allah loves sincerity even in weakness more than He loves pretension in false strength. At the end of the day, the heaviest chains you will ever carry are the masks you wear for people. They weigh you down. They suffocate you. They rob you of peace. But the lightest, freest state you will ever experience is when you live for Allah sincerely, without masks, without pretenses, without fear of people. That is true freedom. That is true strength. That is true faith. So, my beloved brothers and sisters, ask yourself today, how many masks am I wearing? Who am I trying to impress? Whose approval am I sacrificing my authenticity for? And is it worth it? Will their opinion matter when I am in my grave? Will their applause matter when I am standing before Allah? Or will I realize too late that I wasted my life living for people who could not save me? Do not let that be your regret. Take off the masks. Be real, be true, be sincere, because the only one you truly need to please is Allah, and His approval does not require masks. His approval requires sincerity, humility, and obedience. That is the path to peace in this world and salvation in the next. One of the hardest words for a human being to say is a very short and simple word, no. Just 2 letters. But for many of us, it feels like a mountain on our tongue. And yet, that little word, when spoken at the right time and for the right reasons, can save your dignity, protect your faith, and preserve your peace. Saying no, my brothers and sisters, is not weakness. It is strength. Why do so many of us struggle to say no? Because we fear. We fear rejection. We fear disappointing others. We fear being misunderstood. We think if we refuse, people will stop loving us, stop respecting us, stop being our friends. So we say yes, even when we are exhausted, even when our hearts are heavy, even when we know it is wrong. We say yes because we don't want to upset someone. But in the process, we upset ourselves, and sometimes we even displease Allah. Think about how many times in your life you said yes when you should have said no. You agreed to help someone when you had nothing left to give. You agreed to go somewhere you knew you shouldn't. You agreed to do something that went against your values. And afterward you felt regret, you felt drained, you felt trapped. That is the price of fearing people more than Allah. The truth is, my brothers and sisters, not every request deserves a yes. Not every invitation should be accepted. Not every favor must be granted. If you try to say yes to everything, you will destroy yourself. You will stretch yourself so thin that you have no time for your family, no time for your health, no time for your faith, and no time for your soul. You will become a slave to other people's demands, running from one task to another, never at peace. And let me remind you, those very people you exhaust yourself for may never truly appreciate it. Some will get used to your yes and take it for granted. Some will even become angry the one time you finally say no. That is because you trained them to expect your obedience. You taught them that your time, your energy, your heart were always available to them. And now they think it is their right, but it is not. Your life is not theirs to control. Your soul does not belong to them, it belongs to Allah. There is wisdom in saying no. Saying no is not cruelty. It is not selfishness. It is honesty. It is balance. It is drawing a line and saying, this is my limit. This is what I can do and this is what I cannot do. And people may not like it, but they will respect it. And if they don't respect it, then perhaps they were never truly your friends to begin with. One of the tricks of shaitan is to make you feel guilty for saying no. He whispers, if you refuse, they will hate you. If you decline, you are a bad person. If you don't give, you are greedy. But this is a deception. Because sometimes saying no is an act of worship. When someone invites you to sin and you say no, you are protecting your faith. When someone pushes you to waste time in what displeases Allah and you say no, you are saving your soul. When someone expects from you more than you can handle and you say no, you are preserving your health so you can serve Allah better. That is not selfishness, that is strength. Look at the lives of the prophets. They were never afraid to say no when it was necessary. When the people of Quraysh offered wealth, status and power to our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, on the condition that he stopped calling people to Allah, did he hesitate? No. He said, even if you place the sun in my right hand and the moon in my left, I will never abandon this mission. That was the greatest no in history. A no that preserved the message of Islam. A no that gave us the gift of faith today. When Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, was tempted by the wife of the minister, he had every worldly reason to say yes. She was powerful, she was insistent, she offered him safety from punishment if he gave in, but he said no. He chose prison over sin. And that no raised his rank, purified his soul, and eventually made him a leader in the land. When Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, was told to worship idols, he said no, even though it meant standing against his own family and people. That no made him a symbol of pure monotheism. So do not underestimate the power of a sincere no. Sometimes one no can protect your entire faith. Sometimes one no can save you from years of regret. Sometimes one no can earn you the pleasure of Allah. My beloved brothers and sisters, you must learn to say no without fear and without guilt. Because if you don't, your yes will lose its value. When you say yes to everything, your yes means nothing. But when you say no when necessary, your yes carries weight. People will know that if you agree, it is sincere, not forced. And remember, saying no does not require anger, rudeness, or arrogance. You can say no with kindness, with gentleness, with respect. You can decline in a way that maintains dignity. For example, when someone invites you to something wrong, you can say, I appreciate your offer, but this does not align with my values. When someone demands your time and you are overwhelmed, You can say, I would love to help, but I cannot right now. Please forgive me. This way, your no is firm but polite, strong but compassionate. Do not think that by saying no, you will lose all your friends. The ones who leave you simply because you set boundaries were never real friends. They were only attached to your compliance. Real friends will understand. Real friends will respect you more for being honest. Real friends will still stand by you even when you cannot give them what they want. And if people turn away because of your no, let them go. Do not chase them, because Allah will replace them with better company, sincere companions, and real support. And even if He doesn't, even if you are left standing alone, know that you are never truly alone. Allah is with you. And having Him by your side is better than having the whole world by your side without Him. Many of us are drowning under the weight of endless commitments because we are too afraid to say no. We say yes to extra work when we are already exhausted. We say yes to toxic gatherings because we fear being left out. We say yes to relationships that drain us because we fear being alone. But my brothers and sisters, what is the result? We end up burnt out, stressed, resentful, and far from Allah. And then we wonder why we feel empty. The truth is simple. Every yes you give has a cost. When you say yes to one thing, you are saying no to something else. If you say yes to every demand from people, you may be saying no to your own prayers, your own rest, your own family, your own health. And when you collapse, no one will carry your burden for you. So learn to choose your yes wisely. Do not allow guilt to control you. Do not allow pressure to break you. Your responsibility is not to please everyone. Your responsibility is to please Allah, to fulfill your obligations, and to live with dignity. Everything else is secondary. If a no protects you from sin, it is a shield. If a no saves you from harm, it is a mercy. If a no preserves your peace, it is wisdom. So, my beloved brothers and sisters, embrace the power of no. Say no to sin, no to exploitation, no to overcommitment, no to disrespect, no to anything that takes you away from Allah, and say yes only when your yes brings you closer to Him, when your yes is sincere, when your yes is healthy. That is the balance of a believer. At the end of the day, strength is not in saying yes to everyone. Strength is in knowing when to say no. Because that little word, spoken with sincerity and wisdom, can change the course of your life. It can protect your faith, preserve your dignity, and grant you peace. So do not be afraid of no. Do not see it as rejection. See it as protection. See it as strength. See it as a gift from Allah that frees you from slavery to people and keeps you firm in servitude to Him alone. My beloved brothers and sisters, after everything we have spoken about the dangers of trying to please everyone, the burden of fake masks, the harm of being too friendly, the strength of saying no, it all comes down to this one simple truth. You must focus on who truly matters. Because at the end of your life, when you are lowered into your grave, when the soil covers you, when everyone leaves you behind, only one will matter. Only Allah. Think about it. How much of your life is wasted chasing people who do not even think about you? How many sleepless nights have you spent worrying about what others said, what others thought, what others expected? And what did it give you in return? Did their opinion grant you peace? Did their approval save you from pain? Did their applause remove your struggles? No. It only left you more exhausted, more anxious, more empty. Because the truth is, no matter how much you try, you will never satisfy them all. You may please one person, but another will still complain. You may sacrifice your time, your health, your peace for people, but they will still find faults. And the ones who praise you today may criticize you tomorrow. The ones who love you now may abandon you later. People are inconsistent, unstable, and temporary. Their approval is like the wind. It shifts from one direction to another. But Allah's approval that is eternal, steady, unchanging. When you focus on Allah, you find clarity. Suddenly, life becomes simpler. Decisions are no longer about what will people say, but about what will Allah say. Your heart is no longer burdened by the weight of endless opinions, but lifted by the light of one clear purpose, to please your Creator. That is freedom, my brothers and sisters, true freedom. Imagine how different your life would be if in every situation your first thought was, will this bring me closer to Allah or take me further away? Before speaking, before acting, before agreeing, before compromising, you paused to ask, does this please the one who gave me life? How much stress would vanish? How much regret would disappear? How much peace would enter your heart? But sadly, many of us do the opposite. We make Allah secondary and people primary. We delay our prayers to attend to others. We compromise our faith to fit in. We stay silent against wrong to avoid conflict. We exhaust ourselves chasing love from people who cannot even guarantee their own future. And then we wonder why we feel lost. We wonder why our hearts are restless. It is because we gave the throne of our hearts to creation instead of the Creator. My beloved brothers and sisters, you were not created to please people. You were created to worship Allah. That is your purpose. That is your reason for existence. And when you deviate from that purpose, you will never find contentment. You may achieve wealth, but your soul will be hungry. You may achieve popularity, but your heart will be empty. You may achieve acceptance, but your spirit will be restless. Because peace is not found in the hands of people. Peace is found with Allah. And here is the beauty. When you focus on Allah, when you strive sincerely for His approval, He takes care of the rest. He places love for you in the hearts of those who matter. He protects you from those who wish you harm. He blesses your time, your efforts, your relationships. Even when people turn against you, you will find yourself surrounded by His mercy. And when you are alone, you will feel His presence. Let me remind you of something powerful. On the day of judgment, people's opinions will mean nothing. Their approval, their criticism, their praise, their insults, all of it will vanish. The only thing that will matter is whether Allah is pleased with you. Your friends will not carry your sins. Your critics will not reduce your punishment. Your fans will not share your reward. Everyone will stand for themselves, desperate, fearful, and in need of mercy. So why live your life chasing what will not matter then? Why sacrifice your faith for applause that will disappear in an instant? When you live for Allah, you gain both worlds. In this life, you gain peace, clarity, and dignity. In the next life, you gain mercy, forgiveness, and Jannah. But when you live for people, you lose both. In this life, you lose yourself trying to keep up with them. In the next life, you stand alone with nothing to show but wasted opportunities. So focus on who truly matters. Prioritize Allah in your daily choices. Guard your prayers, even if people call you old-fashioned. Guard your modesty, even if people mock you. Guard your honesty, even if people dislike it. Guard your deen, even if people walk away. Because their opinions will not enter your grave with you. But your actions, your sincerity, your obedience to Allah will. Do not be deceived by numbers. Having thousands of followers on social media means nothing if Allah does not follow you with His mercy. Being admired by crowds means nothing if you are rejected by the Creator. Being called successful by people means nothing if you are a failure in the sight of Allah. Success is not measured by likes or applause. Success is measured by sincerity and obedience. My beloved brothers and sisters, think of your final moments. One day you will lie on your deathbed. Your family may be around you. Your friends may visit. But when the angel of death comes, no one can stop it. No amount of approval, no amount of love, no amount of acceptance from people can delay your departure by even a second. In that moment, the only thing that will matter is, did you live your life for Allah or did you live your life for people? And when you are placed in your grave and the soil covers you, people will cry for a while, then move on. They will return to their lives, their jobs, their routines, their approval, their criticism, their expectations. None of it will matter anymore. But what will matter is whether Allah is pleased with you. Did you pray? Did you obey Him? Did you live sincerely for Him? That is what will matter when the angels question you in the darkness of the grave. So free yourself from the chains of people's opinions. Stop exhausting your soul, chasing what will never satisfy you. Stop wearing masks. Stop compromising. Stop sacrificing your deen for temporary approval. Instead, turn your heart to Allah. Live for Him. Worship Him. Seek His approval, and you will find a peace this world cannot give and a reward the next world cannot take away. My brothers and sisters, life is short. Every day brings you closer to your end. Do not waste it trying to please those who cannot even guarantee their own tomorrow. Focus on who truly matters. Focus on Allah. Because if He is with you, nothing can harm you. And if He is against you, nothing can save you. Let this be your reminder, your wake-up call, your turning point. Focus on who truly matters. Please Allah, and everything else will fall into place. Displease Him, and nothing else will ever be enough. And when the world turns its back on you, do not be sad. For as long as Allah is with you, you are never truly alone. My beloved brothers and sisters, we have journeyed through a reminder that is simple in words, but heavy in reality. Stop trying to please everyone. You cannot do it, and even if you tried, it would only leave you exhausted, disappointed, and broken. Along the way, we spoke about why people's approval is fleeting, how chasing it can lead to disobedience, how not everyone is your friend, how being too friendly exposes you to harm, how masks weigh down the soul, how strength is found in saying no, and ultimately how peace is only found when you focus on Allah, the one who truly matters. If there is one message I want you to carry with you, it is this: the approval of people will not save you when you die. Their applause will not open the gates of paradise for you. Their criticism will not harm you if Allah is pleased with you. But Allah's approval, that is everything. If He is with you, you have success in this world and the next. If He is against you, no amount of love or praise from people can benefit you. So free yourself from the chains of people's expectations. Do not let their opinions control your heart. Do not let their rejection break you. Do not let their demands push you into disobedience. Live sincerely. Live authentically. Live for Allah. Because at the end of the day, when you stand before Him, it will not matter who liked you, who disliked you, who praised you, or who criticized you. What will matter is whether He accepts you. And here is the beauty. When you stop chasing people and start seeking Allah, He grants you peace. He surrounds you with the right people. He protects you from the wrong ones. He fills your heart with contentment even if the whole world rejects you. He lifts you. He guides you. He never abandons you. So let this be your reminder today. Stop pleasing everyone. Please Allah. Say no when you need to. Protect your dignity. Value your time. Guard your faith. Remove the masks. Set your heart free, because true success is not in being loved by people, it is in being loved by Allah. True failure is not in being criticized by people, it is in being rejected by Allah. My brothers and sisters, every soul will stand alone on the day of judgment. Your friends will not carry your burdens. Your critics will not decide your fate. Your followers, your colleagues, your family, none of them will stand beside you when your deeds are weighed. You will stand before Allah alone, and in that moment, the only thing that will matter is whether you lived for Him. So make that decision now. Make it your mission in life. to seek His pleasure above all else. And you will find that your heart is lighter, your soul is freer, your life is clearer. Because when you live for Allah, you never lose. May Allah grant us the strength to stop chasing the approval of people. May He purify our hearts, remove the masks from our lives, give us wisdom to set boundaries, courage to say no, and sincerity to live for Him alone. And may He grant us His eternal pleasure, so that on the day when no one's opinion matters, we are among those whom He welcomes with mercy and love. Remember, my beloved brothers and sisters, people's approval ends at the grave, but Allah's approval carries you into Jannah. Choose wisely, choose Allah.